Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. So very happy to be here again in the Jain School of Humanities. Thanks to Major Dr. Rekha Sinha for calling me here to interact with the students here. I remember, I think it was last year in the same hall. Same hall or it was different hall? Different hall. Interacting with the students on a different topic. It was lifestyle management. We had discussed that topic last time, and we are here again today to discuss on this topic of managing the raging mind. So I'll begin with a short prayer. That's how traditionally we begin any session. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I see this mic, this works?
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, maybe if battery is put, then it will work, I think. So, how many of you think that your mind created trouble to you sometime or the other? Yes? How many of you had difficulty controlling your raging mind in your life sometime or the other? Yes, please raise your hands. Okay. How many of you felt that, how many of you feel your mind is peaceful and never disturbs you? Okay, one. Okay, so I think the topic is relevant. Managing the raging mind, right? Can you think of any instance in your life where the mind went crazy and you tried to control it, but it was uncontrollable? Against your wish, the mind wanted to do something, it was obstinate, it was ziddi, and generally it wanted to do some activities which are harmful, self-destructive. You want to stop it, but it's difficult. Yeah, thank you. Hare Krishna. Good. Yeah, this gives me some freedom to move. So in our life, we have experienced certain instances where the mind goes crazy. Although even a person may be a gentleman, but there are some moments in life where the mind can create potential trouble. Those are the weak moments in life when we need to know how to control the raging mind. Raging mind is compared to a hurricane. When the hurricane comes, it can uproot the trees, break the buildings, and even can sometimes lift the cars and drop it far away. We also see that sometimes cyclones, recently in North India, heavy rains, and the rains are flooding and then destroying the mountains and the homes. And even the government is helpless, can't do anything. And they say that can't do anything. When there are cyclone alarms, when the cyclone comes and the alarm is sounded, the only thing which is told is vacate the place. And nobody will give assurance, we are going to control it, stay here. No, vacate the place. And that's what is the solution.
It's working.
Yeah?
Yes.
It's working? Yeah, thank you. So because it's very difficult to control the natural calamities, similarly the mind also is very difficult to control. And Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, there is a verse which says, actually Arjuna is telling to Krishna, Chanchalam hi manah Krishna pramati balabadridam. It's charging. It's okay. It's perfect. Chanchalam hi manah Krishna pramati balavadridam tasyaham nigraham manye vayoriva shudushkaram. He says that the mind is more difficult to control than the wind. Now we are talking about difficulty in controlling the wind and the hurricanes, but for Arjuna, it is easy to control the wind and difficult to control the mind. Because Arjuna, of course, it is 5,000 years back, Arjuna had very great powers. It is said that there was once a demonstration of power in the assembly, and Arjuna shot an arrow and created a mountain. He shot another arrow and he made the mountain disappear. He shot an arrow and there was hurricane, and he shot another arrow and then hurricane was subdued. That much power and capacity he had. And he is telling that I can easily control this wind, but my mind, very difficult, because mind is more powerful than the wind. It is said that those people who have learned the art of controlling the mind, they are real heroes. Is it too dark? It's okay? Too dark means people go to sleep. Yeah. What are the consequences of uncontrolled mind? Can somebody say? What happens because of uncontrolled mind? A lot of regret. Okay. Okay, we regret that we have done something which is not supposed to be done. Okay.
There's no presence of mind.
Okay, there is no presence of mind. For example, somebody may be sitting in the class, but the mind may be somewhere else. It's raging. Yes. What? Overthinking. Yeah. Can we call it as daydreaming? Daydreaming or overthinking, right? So there was once a person who was poor and he wanted to become rich. So he had one cow. So from the cow he got one pot of milk. And with one pot of milk he was thinking. He was just lying on his bed and kept the pot of milk next to him. He started dreaming. I will sell this pot, make some money. And I'll make more and more money. I'll get more cows and I will sell more milk. I'll get more cows, sell more milk. In this way, I'll expand my business. And then, one day what happened? Everything is a dream. So, he had kept the pot of milk and one cat came to drink the milk. So, he took a stick and whoop, he tried to beat the cat. And he heard a sound. Tup. He opened his eyes and the single pot of milk which he had broke. So all is the dream. So it's called daydreaming. So in daydreaming we don't achieve anything. Okay, what can be other consequences of uncontrolled mind? Some responses from this side? Anger, yeah. Anger. Who said anger? Okay. Yes. What are the consequences of anger?
Social imbalance in the approach. You cannot interact properly.
Yeah, if you are angry, you cannot interact properly with the other person. You don't have presence of mind. And people who are angry, short-tempered, you will say they'll have less friends. So nobody likes to be around them because short-tempered. Yeah, good. So these are some of the consequences, and there can be many more. Let's see here. A little small font, but the essence is, these are the statistics which show that majority of the diseases now are because of mental disorder. I can share the PPT with you later if you wish. And the second major, see this one, substance use disorder. Substance use is also another major thing which is coming nowadays, like drugs, alcohol, nicotine, substance abuse. And others are also related to mind only. Anxiety disorders, depression, schizophrenia, bipolar disorders. All these are related to mind only. So this is a statistics from a presentation which I took from Nimhans. And it is their statistics. And here you will see mental and substance disorder is number one. And others are other organs, disease due to other organs. So the number one challenge for doctors now is to treat the mind, both in the West as well as in India also. Social media usage has increased rapidly in the last 2 decades. You'll see. And people, as the number of hours spent in social media is increasing, that much amount of distraction and disturbance is also being created in the students' minds. And see the statistics of the usage on Facebook 2019-2021, and you'll see the graph increasing, mostly people coming to Instagram. And mostly people have accounts in all the things, and they keep switching from one to another and finding out how many people liked me, how many people disliked me, how many people hate me, how many people love me. So this is nice to see you, sir.
Okay.
I remember meeting you last
Yeah,
time.
I remember also. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Children between the age 8 to 18 spend 7 hours and 38 minutes a day spending on internet, entertainment media, logging, almost 11 hours media use a day. This is what is from article in Time magazine. This is 2011. I have to find out the recent statistics, how many hours they spend. Excessive usage of digital devices has led to 46% of adults suffer from psychological disorder called ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. This is research from California State University. Students admit that social media networks are the cause of their poor grades. Right. Recently, I visited my hometown, and I saw my mother telling a story that one of the neighbors, he is an engineering student. He graduated. He was working in a good company. Somehow in COVID time, he came back home, and in home, a lot of free time. So he got addicted to one game, a famous game. Okay, all of you know it. He got addicted to that game, and that spoiled his life. So now he doesn't come out of his room. He doesn't talk to even family members. Even when relatives come, he just in the room, only eating and playing and sleeping. That's all. When he sleeps, when he gets up, don't know. And he has quit his job and is full time playing the game. He was a good, intelligent boy, but somehow this addiction. Recently, I was giving the same seminar in Manipal. So there, one of the doctors said, now they have formally declared this as a disease. It's called compulsive gaming. Right? Compulsive gaming disorder. So where a person helplessly gets addicted, and I got some videos of people addicted, and to de-addict them, they tie their hands and legs to a pole, and still their hands are moving as if they are playing. Right? So it's very difficult to control. 15% of the boys are addicted to alcohol. Depression amongst Indian students has increased from 2 to 12% in the last 5 years. And because of depression, Chennai, recently I heard a news that one of the students committed suicide because he could not crack NEET exam. And seeing that the son has committed suicide, father also committed suicide. So both of them died. Now there is a talk going on, should we have this exam or no, because it puts people in so much of anxiety. Right? Especially the competitive exams put students into so much anxiety. Of course, exams can be there, but one should be taught how to deal with it also. You know which is the number one capital city for the suicides in India? Yeah? Kota, right? Right? Kota ka kota hamesha upar rehta hai, no? Why? Because people go there for preparing for competitive exams, and so much pressure. Morning, the time they get up till they sleep, morning 5 o'clock they get up, they have to study. Then till night, 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock, study, pressure. And after 2 months, 2 years of that kind of training, some people break down, they cannot handle. So that's the number one city of suicides. Initially Bangalore was number one, but now it has shifted to Kota. Right? Even addictions like smoking are also increasing. Right? Prisons statistics in India is increasing. Right? You see, illiterate people below 10th class, see, below 10th more crimes, juvenile crimes. Even postgraduate people also doing crime. Diploma holders, graduates, class 10 and above but below graduation. See, this is statistics which is documented. Means even educated people are also succumbing to crimes because of uncontrolled mind. So as part of education system, along with learning competitive skills, we should also learn how to manage the mind. So in management, there is a statement called manage yourself before managing others. Once you learn how to manage yourself, then you can manage others well. If I am able to not manage myself, then how can I help others? Right? Yeah, you will see United States firearm sales is increasing. Why do you see here not speaking 2020? So again there is a news where a person took his gun and shot people on the street. Even a student in the school actually, primary school, came with his father's revolver and shot because there was some dispute between students. He was angry with his friend, he shot him. So this is all happening because of uncontrolled mind. Before finishing school, the average child watches 8,000 murders and 1 lakh acts of violence. So after watching this, what do you think he is going to do? Right? Because whatever input is going through the senses, that's what he will act, isn't it? So most of the Hollywood or Bollywood movies focus on this only. More violent, more action, more thrill, more it sells, more money. And children are fed such stuff, then when they graduate, what happens? They act. So there is a movie which came on how few robbers, they robbed a bank. There's a movie, Hollywood movie created on that. So, and later on, after a couple of months, there is a bank robbery, and this person, he exactly followed the steps given in that movie, and he was successful in robbing the bank. And when they caught this robber, they searched his room and they found this cassette of this movie. That's how they connected. Yes, he got all the idea from this, isn't it? Number of divorces is also increasing. Even in India it is coming nowadays. Before, few decades before, there is no concept of divorce in India. But now it is coming because of the influence of the other culture. Even suicides are increasing. Right? In 2019, 1,39,000 suicides. Okay, this is the last slide for problems. Then we go to the solution point. Top 10 social issues teens struggle with today: depression, bullying, sexual activity, drug use, alcohol use, obesity, academic problems, peer pressure, social media, on-screen violence. So this is the statistics. Now the teens or the youth are struggling with these problems. So what is the solution? That's what we are going to spend more time on. And that's where Bhagavad Gita comes into picture. As the weapons of mass, what is this? Not destruction. Weapons of mass, distraction. So how can we expect peace and happiness when there is so much of disturbance? So Bhagavad Gita is a song of God which was spoken by Lord Sri Krishna to Arjuna. It was a discussion between them because Arjuna was in great anxiety, and in that moment of great anxiety he was in depression, and to overcome that depression, Krishna spoke words of wisdom to Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And this is the history which happened 5,000 years back. Okay, one may say, अरे 5,000 साल पुरानी कहानी आप क्यों बता रहे हो? But it is relevant even now, because the problems which Arjuna had 5,000 years back is still present even now. And we will see how, and how the solutions which Arjuna had given, Krishna had given to Arjuna, are also still relevant now. So we will see. So solution to all the problems is having a controlled mind. Manah nigraha. Self-control. Self-control is something which, if we practice, we can become superhumans. So for example, river has got power in it because it flows. But you should know how to get power from it. If she is just flowing, you may not be able to extract power from her. But if you make a dam and you store that potential energy in the dam, and when you release in a controlled way, and then through that river you can channelize that water to get hydroelectricity, or you can have planned irrigation. But if you don't make the dam, then she will flow uncontrolled. So your mind also is flowing in different directions. And if you learn how to put dams for this mind and channelize your energy in a particular direction for a particular activity, then you can achieve better results. For example, solar light is also energy, right? Sunlight is also energy. But sunlight is diffused everywhere. But if we take a lens and focus it on one point, if the solar rays are focused on one point and you put a paper there, it can burn the paper as well, isn't it? Similarly, there are solar cookers, solar water heaters, and now the concept of solar farms is also coming, where they have acres and acres of solar panels by which you can extract energy. So energy is there, but you should know proper way of extracting it. Similarly, mind also has got very powerful energies, and the Indian system of yoga is nothing but how to control the mind and channelize the energy of the mind for doing some positive activity for the welfare of the world. That's what our Indian yogis learnt and taught us. And they had mastered this art of mind control. Right? So you can hear of many great yogis in the past. Even now, there are many yogis who have learnt this art of mind control, and they are able to do wonderful things. Some yogis are there who can read the mind. There are some yogis who can predict your future. There are some yogis who can predict what's going to come in the future also, at future incidences. That's because they have learned the art of controlling the mind. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, and if you want more details about this topic, you can go to Bhagavad Gita chapter 6. The chapter is entitled Dhyana Yoga. Dhyana means concentration. Dhyana Yoga means the art of concentration. So when you learn this 6th chapter, you will find many techniques and tips. There Krishna is telling to Arjuna that one who has controlled his mind, for him the mind is his enemy, his friend. One has not controlled the mind, for him the mind is his enemy. Bandhuratmatmanastasya yenatmaivatmanajitaha anatmanastu shatrutve vartetatmaiva shatruvat. For him who has conquered the mind is best of the friends. But for one who has failed to do so, his mind will remain the greatest enemy. Varteta atmaiva shatruvat. Shatru means enemy. Bandhu means friend. So mind can be bandhu or it can be shatru. When is it bandhu? When it is controlled. And becomes shatru when it is uncontrolled. So Krishna is telling Arjuna that control the mind. So first, before controlling the mind, learning to control the mind, first we should know what is the mind. And before knowing what is the mind, we should also know what is the self. Who am I? So let's try to understand who am I. It's fundamental question. If I ask you the question, who are you? What is your answer? Yes, if I ask, who are you? Who are you?
So my name.
Yeah.
Tilin.
Huh?
Tilin.
Thilin. Okay. Fine. Who are you? Hmm? Okay. Generally, you are telling your names now. Can you think of other answers? Who are you? Yes, here, first person. Who are you? If as but when you were born, did you have your name? The name was given couple of days after you were born, isn't it? Is that my permanent identity? No. Names keep changing, isn't it? Right? So generally when I say who am I, we refer to the bodily designations. Whether it be a name or it can be a nationality. As somebody may be Indian national, he may take a green card and settle in America and he may become an American national. The nationality changed. So his identity is changing. So that identity which is changing is not our real identity. So try to find out what is the unchanging identity of mine. So that is real me. That is my true identity. Okay. So now somebody may be in a human body, next life he may be in another body. That's possible. So even the gender can change, even the names can change, people, nationality can change, everything changes. And some people can do plastic surgery and change their face cut also. It's possible nowadays, isn't it? So the identifications of the body keep changing. For example, if I say this hand, whose hand is this? This is my hand. I say my hand. This cloth is my cloth, isn't it? I say it is my cloth. It is not I cloth. It is my cloth, my mic, my hand. It means what? I am different from this hand. Just like I say my cloth, it means I am different from this cloth. When I say my hand, it means I am different from my hand. I am the owner of this hand. Similarly, my eyes, my head, my body. So every part of body is belonging to me. So who is that me? So logically, when you think in this way, you will understand that you are different from your body. Are you able to understand this concept? That you being different from your body? Like you are in this room sitting here now. Are you this room? No. Are you this room? Yes or no? Yes or no? No. Are you sitting inside this room? So you are a resident of this room. You are not this room. Similarly, when I say, I am in this body, I am the resident of this body, I am not this body. This is the first concept which Bhagavad Gita teaches us. I try to differentiate between me and mine. Me is the owner of this body and the body is mine. Nanu, nannadu, me or mera. So we should try to understand the difference between these two. I am at this body, so this fellow is looking in the mirror. My eyes, my hair, my head, my shirt. Right? He is telling all this. Right? It is easy to point to your eye or nose, but can you point to yourself? Right? Who am I in this body? Kahan hai? Is that eye here or here or here? There was one scientist. He analyzed the bodily composition and he found out the different chemicals in the body. He said there is calcium, iron, phosphorus, water, and other substances. And he went to a chemist and told, "Can you please estimate how much value is this?" Then the chemist said, "110 rupees, 110 rupees." So the body is worth how much? Is it really so? And if somebody wants to go for a kidney transplantation, for example, how much it costs? Lakhs of rupees. It's not 110 rupees. Okay. And suppose somebody has a car, very costly car, Mercedes car, Benz car, worth 60 lakh rupees, for example. And you are sitting in that car and your friend is driving. And Mercedes car goes very fast, so he wanted to try high speed on Bangalore-Mysore new highway. He started driving, so 100, 150, 200, and friend thought, touch kar lete 250. He's going fast and fast and fast. And suddenly car went out of control. It went out of the road, hit the tree, and then the car got badly damaged. And somehow, by God's grace, nothing happened to you, but your friend is badly injured and he is bleeding. So now you have two choices. Choice number one, 60 lakh rupees worth car to take it to garage, or 110 rupees worth friend take him to hospital. What will you do first? Huh? Take the friend to the hospital, right? Why do you take the friend to the hospital? Can you justify your answer? What is it in him that makes him so valuable that you are ignoring the 60 lakh worth car and taking him to the hospital? What is in it, what is in him that makes him valuable, so valuable? Or you can say so invaluable? Yes, somebody said, yeah? Empathy, okay. Emotional attachment, okay. I'm looking for a more closer answer. Life. Yeah, she said the right answer. Life. Your friend is alive. Right? Broken car, we can repair it. That is not a big deal. But life, once it leaves the body, can you bring it back? No. Nobody has the power to bring it back. Life, once gone, is gone. It goes to the next destination. The life in a living being makes him invaluable. Right? You cannot compare it with dead. So in Vedic concept, there is concept of jada. This is jada. Jada means inert. Right? If I cut it, if I break it, if I burn it, no response, no feelings. But Chetan, Chetana Vastu. Jada Vastu means no consciousness, Chetana Vastu means consciousness. And what is the symptom of consciousness? Thinking, feeling and willing. These are the symptoms of consciousness. Wherever you see these feelings, their life is there. Right? I am speaking and this camera is recording. Can the camera feel? Can you feel what I am seeing, what I am speaking? Yeah. You can feel because you are alive. You have life. But camera has no life. So that is jada and you are Chetana. So in the Vedic concept, you can categorize all the things in jada and Chetana. That which has Chetana, life, is called as Chetana Vastu. Okay. So in second chapter Gita, Krishna mentions this Chetana Vastu as Atma. Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantara praptir dhiras tatra namuhyati. This life force is in our body and it is energizing the whole body. Okay. And it keeps transmigrating from one body to another. Kaumaram yauvanam jara. Kaumaram is childhood. Yavana means youthhood. Jara means old age. So it keeps traveling through these stages of life. Now, scientifically seeing, our body is changing every moment, isn't it? Every 6 years, all the elements of our body change. It is scientifically proven fact, isn't it? Suppose now you are, 20 years old. When you are 26 or 27, all the elements in your body have got replaced. But your identity that I am so and so is not replaced. So everything has changed except one thing. That what is that one thing? I. That I has not changed. What is that I? I is soul. In English we call it as soul. In Sanskrit we call it as Atma. Atma Shakti. That has not changed. Getting? So the soul is changing. And once a person dies, when the body becomes unfit for its survival, then the soul quits that body and then it goes to another body. Like when somebody dies, we say he has passed away. Who has passed away? Soul. The body is here. The body is there in front of our eyes, see, but soul has passed away. Right? In Hindi we say वो गुजर गए. कौन गुजर गया? आत्मा गुजर गया. Okay? And that which is, and soul never dies actually. The soul again enters into another body as per its activities, karma. A car cannot budge 1 inch without the driver. The car, the body, cannot do any function without the driver, the soul. The soul is the driver of this body. The soul is seeing through the eyes. Eyes can't see. Can the eyes see? No. The soul sees through the eyes. Please understand this concept. Can this camera see? No. The operator of this camera can see through the lens, isn't it? Camera in itself can't see, can't understand, it can't process the information. I hear through the ears, I feel through the skin, I speak through the mouth. Who is speaking? The mouth is speaking, but under the direction of the soul. The soul is actually doing everything. So now what is the mind? So after understanding the soul, let's understand what is the mind. The soul, when it comes to this material world, this material realm, the soul gets a covering of gross body and subtle body. Just like we are wearing dress. Here in India, in this tropical environment, we wear certain kind of dress. Now if you go to the moon, you wear a different kind of dress, isn't it? You wear all the space suits and then go there. And if you're going in the depth of the ocean, you wear another kind of dress, isn't it? Similarly, the soul also, to adapt to this environment in this material world, is given coverings of gross and subtle body, which Lord Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita. Bhumirapo anulo vayu kham mano buddhirevacha ahankar ityame bhinna prakriti rashtada. There's covering of 8 elements on the body, which are Pancha Mahabhutas and Manobuddhi Ahankar. So what are the Pancha Mahabhutas? Earth, water, fire, air, ether. This is Pancha Mahabhuta. That is a gross body. The body which we see is made up of this Pancha Mahabhutas. And beyond the body which we see, there is a Sukshma body, subtle body, which is made up of Manobuddhi Ahankara. Mind, intelligence and ego. I'll give a simple example to understand. Like all of you have this mobile phones with you. There is a hardware which you can touch and feel, but there is a software running inside that which you cannot see, or you cannot, means you can see its effect on the screen, but in the mobile where it is, how it is working, you don't know. That's why it's called as software. There is hardware and then there is software. Similarly, our body is called hardware, and inside this hardware there is a software. And based on the scripts in the software, the hardware functions, isn't it? So, Mana Buddhi Ahankar is like the software which is running. Now, without the user, you cannot use the instrument, right? This laptop I am using, so I can click the button and it will move. I am the controller. The software works as per my direction, and then the hardware responds as per the direction of the software. So there is user, there is software, and then there is hardware. Similarly, there is soul, there is mind, and then there is the body. So there is gross body. So God's energies, one is superior energy, the soul, which we talked about. The soul is made up of Sat, Chit, Ananda. You have heard this term, Sat, Chit, Ananda. That's nothing but Sat. Sat means eternity, Chit means knowledge, Ananda means bliss. And there is inferior energy which is covering the soul, which is made of 2 parts, gross and subtle. So gross elements are Panchamahabhutas and the subtle elements are mind, intelligence and ego. Okay, now We understood what is the mind, position of the mind. Let's go more into depth of functioning of the mind. So the mind is storehouse of thoughts, unfulfilled desires and previous experiences. And all the senses are connected to the mind. The eyes, nose, tongue, ear, skin. Right? They are all connected to the mind. It's very easy to understand. You know these 5 fingers. If these 5 fingers are compared to 5 senses, the middle portion is the mind. Based on the direction of the middle portion, the senses function. And this is intelligence. Senses, mind, intelligence, ahankar, soul. It's very easy to understand. I learned this from my guru recently. Very beautiful analogy. Right? So the senses are controlled by the mind. Mind is directed by the intelligence. That is directed by ego. And finally the soul. So the senses give input to the mind. Mind stores all the inputs and the experiences associated with that. For example, now the room is cold because of AC. So that input is going to the mind. But the room is very cool, very nice. I should come here again. So that experience is stored. Next time when they announce, the class will be in this room. Oh yes, very good. Let me go there. It's good experience. So the mind stores the experiences, and in the future also, when it comes across similar experiences, it says, oh, it is good or it is bad. For example, eating gulab jamun, it is very nice, pleasant experience. When you eat it once, it registers in the mind. Gulab jamun means very good. And next time if somebody says, let's eat gulab jamun. Oh yes, we like it. Let's take it. Right? And somebody has experience of Karela juice. Mother gave you sometime Karela juice pillow. And you tasted it. Too bitter. The next time, mind says, no. Isn't it? So in this way, the mind stores all the experiences also. So the senses are connected to the mind, and mind is dictated by the intelligence. Intelligence is the decision maker. Based on the thoughts and desires stored in the mind, the intelligence decides. ये अच्छा है या बुरा है. Mind may say, Karela juice is bitter. I will not drink. But the intelligence says, it is good for your health. That Karela juice means, you understand Karela? Bitter gourd. Bitter gourd. It's Karela. So when you drink it, it detoxifies the body. Right? So it's good for health. Intelligence says, take it. At least once in a week you take it. The mind says, yes sir. Because now it understands that it's good for my health. It tastes bad but good for health. So intelligence is a discriminator. It takes decisions based on the inputs given from the mind. You're getting this connection? This is a very beautiful analogy. This is given in Kathopanishad. The analogy of the chariot, the passenger, the driver, horses and the rope. Atmanam ratyanam vidhi, shariram ratamevacha. Buddhim tu saratim vidhi, manaha pragrahamevacha. Indriyani hayanyahur, vishayanteshu gocharaha. So this shloka comes in Kathopanishad. It says that the body is the chariot. The human body is like a chariot, and then the soul is the passenger. And buddhi, intelligence, is the driver. And these ropes which you see, that's the mind. And the horses are the senses. Indriyani hayanyahu. Yeah, see this? So the 5 senses are compared to the 5 horses. The eyes, nose, skin, ears, tongue. So this passenger wanted to go from here to Yeshwanthpur. And he boarded this chariot. Takaduk, 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 it's going. So, and on the way, they went through some marketplace in Malleshwaram, for example. And one horse was very hungry. He saw some nice carrot on the road. He said, I want to eat this carrot. So one horse started going to the carrot side. Another horse saw some cabbage on the other side. He wanted to go there. So they started pulling the Rath chariot in different directions. So what will happen? The chariot will become toppled or lose the balance, isn't it? So at that time the driver, what he should do? He should take control. He should pull the rope, tightly pull the rope. Then all the horses will come in line. And then he can go, he can drive the chariot. Of course, nowadays we don't see this kind of chariot. We only have cars, Ola car, Uber car, book it and go. Of course, it's applicable in that scenario also, this analogy. Like the passenger decides where he should go. Driver cannot decide. When you book a Ola car, who decides the destination? One who is booking. And the driver just takes you to that place. And he has to be controlled. He has to control his car in such a way that he can safely take you there. Right? If he doesn't control, then accidents may happen. Right? We were coming in a cab from our temple to here, and our driver was turning, another fellow came about to hit the car. Bike, he came on a bike. And that fellow gave some comment and went away, and this fellow got angry. So while coming only, I had an experience of raging mind of my driver. He got so angry. Stop, ruk jao, main dikhata hu aapko. And that fellow ran away. So the raging mind. So driver should be in control of his car and his emotions. He can reach the destination. So the intelligence should be strong enough to pull the rope and control the senses. Similarly, all of you have a destination to achieve. For example, you have a short-term goal. What is a short-term goal? You have to clear degree. For example, you have to complete your degree. That is short-term goal. And in order to achieve that goal, you also should have good controlled intelligence, strong mind, and senses also should be controlled. If you have uncontrolled senses, what will happen? You have to study, but mind is saying, let me play. Or mind is saying, बहुत tired हो गया, सो जाता है. Right? So either one can ignore the work, or one can have alternative attractions and not study. It can happen like this, isn't it? So we should know how to control the mind. Are you able to understand this analogy? This is called chariot and body analogy. Chariot is compared to a human body. And you will see one more thing. Here the horses, the eyes are open. Generally, one who is an expert driver, he covers the eyes of the horse. Not fully, like this. So that he is not able to see here and there. Similarly, we should also put some what is it called? Shield, so that we are focused in our work. Right? One of the major distractions nowadays is smartphone. Right? I have heard students come to me and saying that, Prabhuji, padhai nahi ho raha hai. Kyun? Smartphone, sir. Because of smartphone, I am not able to study. Because they are sitting for studies and then tweets come. And they keep seeing, and then studies is gone. So at least for the time of studies, we can keep the distractions away. So nature of mind, if it is controlled, it's your best friend. If it is uncontrolled, it is your greatest enemy. Yeah, so Krishna says this in Bhagavad Gita. Mind is like a knife. Is the knife good or bad? What do you say? Yeah? Depends on how we use it. So if the knife is in the hand of a doctor, is it good or bad? It can save life. If the knife is in the hand of a thief, good or bad? Bad. It can take away life. So mind is good if it is in the right hand, proper hand. Mind is like an instrument. It's like a tool. If it is in the right hand, it can do wonders. If it is in the wrong hand, it can do blunders. Like, for example, missiles, are they good or bad? Depends on who is using it. Who is pressing the button, isn't it? So how to control the mind? This is an important section now. Arjuna, in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, he defines the nature of the mind. Can you kindly repeat after me? Chanchalam he manah Krishna आई थिंक यू आर हंग्री हैं, थोड़ा जोर से बोलिए. चंचलम हे मनः कृष्ण प्रमाथि बलवदृढ़ं तस्याहं निग्रहं मन्ये वायोरिव सुदुष्करम्. Arjuna says that mind is chanchal. Chanchal means flickering. It cannot be steady on one thought for a long time. It is said that attention span now for the youth is 8 seconds. 8 seconds. After 8 seconds they feel they need a change. I mean to say that mind goes to another thought. It's not able to focus. So in the last 1 hour, I don't know how many times mind went here and there and came back. So that's how the attention span is 8 seconds now. Previously it was 12 seconds it seems. After the social media explosion it has become 8 seconds. And that's why you will see all the Instagram reels and others 10 seconds, 15 seconds maximum. And beyond that people don't see. It's chanchala and pramathi, agitating. Balavad, strong. Dridam, obstinate. Obstinate means jiddi. Vayoriva shudushkaram, more difficult than controlling the wind. So these are the characteristics of uncontrolled mind. Okay. So because why Arjuna told this, Krishna told that you do meditation, then you can control the mind. And he told the meditation technique. Go to a forest where nobody is there, sit on a asana, sit steadily in Padmasana, half close your eyes, meditate on the tip of your nose and sit like this, control your breathing and focus. After hearing this method, Arjuna told Krishna, the very difficult process, I cannot follow. Why I cannot follow? Because of this reason. Mind is very difficult. And in response, Krishna says, yes, mind is very difficult to control. Asam shayam mahabaho mano durnigraham chalam. Mind is very difficult to control. Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grihate. He said, with practice. Yes, very difficult to control and I know it. But practice. Abhyas. By repeated practice, you can master the mind. Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grihate. What is that practice? Yato nischalati manas chanchalam asthiram. Manas is chanchal, it go to some other thought. Tatastato niyamaitat atmanyeva vasham nayet. Krishna gives analogy that when the mind goes somewhere, you pull it back. Right? How many of you flew the kite? Patang उड़ाया. Right? Patang जब बहुत दूर जाता है क्या करते हैं? Pull it back. You would roll it. You roll it and it comes back in control. Otherwise wind may carry it. Out of control it may go. Similarly, mind also is like that. It flies away somewhere. Bring it back. So this is the practice which we have to do. And meditation is this practice only. Either you do silent meditation or you do mantra meditation. I'll talk about that at the end. When you're doing meditation, mind will go here and there, but bring it back. Bring it back. More you're able to bring it back, that much strong your mind is becoming. But if you're letting the mind go loose, then you're keeping it uncontrolled. This is mental dialogue happening between mind and intelligence. The mind, the example is taken is about smoking. The mind feels, I am an engineer or I am a graduate. I should know how to hold a cigar at least. एक बार तो try करना चाहिए. बड़े बन गए. Sometimes the boys say, मर्द हो तो करते दिखाओ. Smoke. But the intelligence says, but that's a bad idea. Not good for you. Your parents won't like to see you doing this. You may become addicted to it. Don't go into wrong track. Isn't it? So mind is feeling and intelligence is thinking. Mind feels that it is cool, but intelligence says it is bad. And intelligence says, you don't know what is written on the smoking packet? Smoking kills. Arey, mar jaunga. So intelligence person keeps it aside. But one who wants to feel, he will go ahead and smoke. Mind says, I think it's fun. Everyone is doing it. I should experience what life is at least once. Right? Film actors are doing that. My favorite star is doing this. Why not me? Intelligence says, what are you fool? Why do you hurt yourself by this bad habit? That wastes your money, ruins your good health, may cause you cancer in the future. Stop it. Don't even dream about it. So there's a mental dialogue happening between mind and intelligence. So who will win in this dialogue? Who wins? Mind wins? Okay. How many say mind wins?
Most of the time it is mind.
Most of the time it's mind. Okay. How many of you say intelligence wins? Yes. He is saying intelligence wins. Okay. Yeah?
Actually, like, not always, but
Not always, sometimes. Okay. It depends on who is strong. If the bad mind is strong, he will win. And if the intelligence is strong, intelligence will win. Mind chup baith jata hai. So ideally, who should win? Intelligence should win. So we should make the intelligence sharp by reading holy scriptures, by attending self-help seminars like this. We should make the intelligence sharp to be able to control the mind. If mind is strong, mind wins. If intelligence is strong, you can resist the temptation. Okay. Yeah, I already talked about this. By practice, one can control the mind by abhyasa. And vairagya means what? Withdraw the mind from wrong attachments and starve from bad habits. That is vairagya. It is said that if you do if suppose one is having a habit which is bad, more you indulge in that habit, more you are feeding it. It becomes more strong. More you withdraw from that activity, it becomes weak and goes away. Like suppose there is a mad dog. What is the way to control the mad dog? Starve it. Starve it, it becomes weak. And then it can come under control. Similarly, sometimes they use these tigers in the circus. How do they control the tiger? Actually, they bring it from the jungle. It's very, very powerful. They starve it for weeks. It becomes weak. And then they make it do circus. Idhar aa jao, sit here. It will come and sit. Okay, then they throw some food. And they say, okay, raise your two legs. It raises and then give some food. And in this way, they starve it and then control it. Similarly, mind is very obstinate. To control the bad mind, one has to starve it. What is starving? Stay away from those bad habits. More you starve from them, more you become stronger. And also one can have moderation in eating and sleeping and regulation. Like for example, sleeping early, rising early, that's a good habit. When you rise early in the morning and do some meditation in the morning time, between 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock, that's the time which is recommended. If you do meditation at that time, mind can become strong. Because that is the time meant for the mind, Brahma Muhurta. That time when you do meditation, mind becomes strong. And in the daytime, it's not so fruitful to do meditation. So sleeping early, getting up early, eating the right kind of food, eating food which is goodness, sattvic, vegetarian, that also pacifies your mind. Eating too much chili, too much hot, too salty foods, that agitates the mind. So the food and mind also have connection. If you eat the food of violence, then one also becomes violent and more agitated. So that also is told in Bhagavad Gita. So there is 3 yes formula. Yes, yes, yes to control the mind. First yes is starve the bad habits. Abstain from bad people and bad objects. Starve. Because if you know that this person agitates me, just keep distance. This place disturbs me, stay away from that. So what are the disturbing things for you? Stay away. Okay. And you know that these items tempt me, these things tempt me, stay away from them. So that is the first formula. Starve bad habits. Supplement good habits. And stopping bad activity is not the only way. One has to also supplement it with good habits. Sustain with good association and good objects. Sustain through introspection and self-correction. Right? You cannot give friends altogether. Have good friends. Right? and have good habits. Like, for example, sleeping early, getting up early is a very good habit. Reading scriptures is a good habit. Attending such programs is a good habit. Hearing some spiritual music is a good habit. So in that way one can cultivate these good habits. And then stay away from tempting environment and association. I spoke about it already. So 3 years formula. What is first one? Second one? And third is? Stay away. So in these 3 ways one can control the mind. First step is withdraw. Do not allow the senses to wander, stray in any direction they want. Withdraw them from wrong engagements. Like the horse, you put the shield on it to its eyes, that's the withdrawal. Similarly, if you have some tempting environments, withdraw yourself from those tempting environments. For example, there are some social media sites which can disturb you. You feel it's disturbing you, block it. Right? In our youth centers, which you have, students come and say, Prabhu, this is disturbing me. And we have this parental control app. We put it, we block it. So he is away, stay away. Right? He withdraws himself from that. So now, there is a Hindi में proverb है ना, ना रहेगी बांस, ना बजेगी बांसुरी. वैसे अगर वो सिचुएशन ही नहीं आता है तो वो डिस्टर्ब ही नहीं होगा ना. So similarly, we have to withdraw ourselves from that situation. And mind is also like a child. More you pay attention to that mind, more it cries. ये वीडियो देखिए. बच्चा रो रहा है. Right? It's true, right? So when the child is doing a drama of crying, you pay attention, it cries more. Similarly, the mind also is like this only. When you pay attention to any bad desire the mind wants, it becomes more strong, more, it cries more. I want it, I want it, I want it. But if you say mind, forget it, it forgets. So you have to control the mind by ignoring. What is it? Ignore the mind. Right? If mind is giving some wrong idea, ignore it. I don't care about you. And mind shuts quiet, keeps quiet. But you keep thinking about it. Yeah, अच्छा idea दिया तूने. It keeps giving more and more bad suggestions. Engage the senses in the and the mind in the topics of God. It's a wonderful way. Like you are engaging here now in topics of Bhagavad Gita. It's wonderful. And transcend, understand the meaning of life by reading thought-provoking wisdom literatures like Bhagavad Gita, Quran and other books. You can read and try to understand good thoughts which are given in those books. And one of the easy ways to control the mind is mantra. Mantra. Man means mind. Tra means trayate. Mantra is which delivers the mind from all negativity. That's mantra. So in Vedic literatures we have unlimited mantras given. And in ISKCON we chant this mantra, very simple. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. There are other Vedic mantras also like Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Narayana. So many mantras are there. One can take mantras and keep chanting 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Do every day some meditation by which the mind becomes controlled. Even scientific research has been done that how this chanting, overall metabolism of the body slows markedly, heart and breathing rates decrease, blood flow to the muscles stabilizes, and blood pressure also reduces. In this way, the body by meditation, there is good effect on the body as well. Yeah, the recommended method for controlling the mind is loudly chanting and hearing the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And many people have chanted and have got very positive effect on this. Like he says, I got pleasant mood. He says, Ramesh Lal, he says that I got peace of mind. Mrs. Grace, she says, it opens the eyes of wisdom. Paul Blair, he says, stress relief. Mrs. Sally says, mental stability, positive thinking, development of maturity. And George Harrison says, it's really the process of having realization of God. So in this way, one can very easily control the raging mind. Thank you so much for your patient listening. Yeah. If somebody has any queries, you're free to ask. Maybe one or two. I know you must be hungry as well. Maybe one or two questions, then we can pause. Yes. Please tell me your name also. Yeah. Keshav. Okay.
How do we deal with like basic anxiety? Overall, we had the idea, you told us everything, but in general, I'm someone who's very anxious. Like, not there is a sort of anxiety when we're doing something wrong. There's an anxiety, but in general also, if I'm not, so there's a feeling that I want to know everything. If I'm reading 10 pages and I'm on the 9th page, and for some reason I'm not able to get the 10th page, then there's a lot of anxiety and nothing will make sense at that point of time. Only that 10th page is what I want. So what's the solution to that?
Yeah. So, yeah, this anxiety, Keshav was asking about how to deal with this anxiety. Actually, sometimes mind creates unnecessary anxieties. There is no actually real problem, but mind imagines problem. So there is real problem and there is imagined problem. Real problems can be dealt with, but imagined problems very difficult to deal with. Some people have this anxiety. Like for example, one employee was there in the office, and the manager came. And that day, manager did not smile at him. Every day they say, good morning, madam, good morning, sir. And the manager, hey, good morning, good morning. But this day he was silent, he was very grave. And the employee started thinking, maybe manager is upset with me. Maybe I'll get a notice today. I may get out of the job today. Start imagining. There is no actually problem. What happened was manager had some fight at home and he came back in a bad mood. Came to office in a bad mood. So he was in that hangover and he didn't notice the employee saying good morning. So this fellow started imagining problem. It's anxiety, isn't it? So similarly, mind creates certain such kind of things. One should try to avoid such imagined problems by being realistic. For example, you want to read 10 pages, you read 10 pages. Okay, now some urgent work must have come, so 9th page is over. You continue after some time the 10th page. What's the big deal? Isn't it? So take it lightly.
So it's just how we think.
Yeah, how you think. There's no real problem there. Only the mind is thinking something. Right? Another problem mind imagines is mind gets into anxiety because of too much worry about results. That's also another cause of anxiety. ये result क्या होगा? कैसे होगा? Too much focus on results also is a cause of anxiety. That's why Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says, don't worry about results. Don't focus on results. One can set the target, but don't worry too much about results, Krishna says. In fact, Krishna says, Karmanyevadhikarasте ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturбhur mate sangostva karmani. Krishna says focus on your endeavor, karma. You students, focus on your studies, on your preparation. Don't worry too much about results. If your preparation is perfect, satisfactory, then whatever results come, accept it. Okay, preparation and performance is in your hands. The result is not in your hands. So prepare and perform and leave the rest to God. So that's what Gita teaches. Thank you. There, next.
No, I was about to continue the thing, like accepting the fact and reality, but it would not make us
Yeah.
accept.
You are loud enough. Your voice is loud enough.
So accepting the fact and reality of today's thing, yes, we can continue. As Keshav said, we can continue the book page later. It's okay. Let's not fight with the mind and accept the reality.
Yeah.
I just wanted to continue this.
Yes, yes. So one has to be realistic, not be in the imaginary world. Okay. Thank you for the nice question. Anyone else?
Next. Kalpana, ನೀವೇ handle ಮಾಡಿ. ನೀವೇ go. Like,
Yes, you have a question?
You can ask any question, don't hesitate. It can be related to yourself, mind, intelligence, topic, or maybe something else which has not been covered today.
They are all looking at each other. Who will be first? Okay, I want two of you.
This one, the peer pressure, I think so. This teenage, they deal with a lot of peer pressure. So, is there any way that they can deal with that?
Okay, the question is how to deal with peer pressure and how to deal with it. Well, peer pressure, it's good sometimes, but if it becomes too competitive, then it takes a wrong dimension. Like if there is a group of students who are studying and seeing each other, they can study well also, right? So in that sense, it is good. Right? But in case there are peers who are putting too much pressure, pulling the leg of others, then that is not good. Right? For example, I'll give an example. There is one in IIT Bombay. This happened. So there was one student who was great topper in the class, and he was very studious. He used to make notes in his classroom. Whatever teacher said, he used to understand. Self-study he used to do, and that's why he used to, because of hard work, he used to be topper. And there's another person who became envious. He felt that he is always top, and I don't get such good grades, so he became envious of him. And then he wanted to pull him down. So this is called as crab mentality. What is crab mentality? If you put a crab or group of crabs in a bucket, none of them will come out. Why they will not come out? Yeah, they try pulling each other down. One crab is trying to climb, other is pulling down. So you don't have to put any duck on. Nobody will come out. That's called as crab mentality. So this friend, he wanted to pull him down because of envy. So one day before the exam, he went to a friend, tomorrow is this paper and I want to refer to your notes. Can you please give me? And then the friend said, the topper, he said, actually tomorrow is exam, I need to study. And this fellow said, give me just for half an hour. I'm going to the Xerox shop, I'll Xerox it and give it back to you. Are you sure? He said, yes, I promise, I'll surely give you. And this fellow took that notes and disappeared, never to be seen again. And next day directly came for the exam hall. He switched off his phone and not visible in the hostel. Why this fellow did? Jealousy, enviousness. He cannot succeed and he doesn't want others to succeed. So this is called as envious mentality. But good peer pressure is good. I will study hard, I will inspire others to study hard, work hard. I will be good and I will inspire others to be good. So this is good peer pressure. So one should create that healthy competition between peers, not unhealthy competition. So example which I gave was unhealthy competition. But one can create good healthy competition. Like I share my notes, he shares his notes, we study together, we share knowledge, we exchange knowledge. So that is very good. I succeed and I help others also succeed. This is called as non-enviousness and abundance mentality. Right? I will be successful, you also become successful, all can be successful. This is called win-win situation. Again, Mahabharata, Yudhishthira Maharaj wanted win-win situation. Right? If you know the history of Mahabharata, Dhritarashtra had taken the whole kingdom. Actually it belonged to Yudhishthira Maharaj. But Yudhishthira Maharaj requested Dhritarashtra, at least give some part of the kingdom. You take, but you give us also a little bit. It was so kind on Yudhishthira Maharaj to have such a win-win attitude. You also have, we will also have. But what is Duryodhana's mentality? No, we will only have, you cannot have anything. So you go to the forest for 13 years. They cheated him and sent them to the forest for 13 years. So this is what? Win-lose mentality. I win, you should lose. And in that they feel pride and they feel they are successful. And those who are demonic mentality people, if they win and others fail, they become happy. They think that is success. But real success is what? Win-win. I also win, you also win. Let's both be happy. This is the mentality. Sarve janaha sukhino bhavantu. Let all the species in this world be happy. So that's the consciousness we should develop. So that's a healthy attitude. I hope that answered the
Yes,
point.
it did answer this question. Thank you so much. I have one more question, especially for the teenagers. Like, what exactly you mean by the spirituality? We have heard the word spirituality every time we do here, but can we go in depth? As in, and I think there is some camouflage of things which is not exactly has come across with the meaning of the spirituality, and how it is. It also talks about modernity. Like today, we want to be called as moderns. And sometimes because of that modernity, let's say something of that sort, that attitude, we feel that being spirituality is not going to be accepted by me or by the society. So can you just highlight on these two aspects?
Yeah. So the first question was what is spirituality and how to go deep into that. I touched on the topic a little bit today about who am I. And who am I now? What is the understanding? Who am I? Soul. So we have theoretically understood that I am the soul. I am not this body, but I am the power within this body, that which is controlling this body. That's my real me. Right? I am the soul and I have this body, I possess this body. Theoretically I know that, but realizing that, coming to the platform of spirit, that is called spirituality. Doing certain rituals to awaken the spirit, that is spirituality. Spirit and ritual. When you combine both, becomes spiritual. So there are certain rituals which you do, like for example meditation, that is a ritual. Chanting of mantras, that is a ritual. Worshipping of Lord, prayer, it is a ritual. So doing these rituals repeatedly awakens the soul, and we come to the state of Brahman, Aham Brahmasmi, realizing that I am spirit soul. That process is spirituality. That's one level, trying to understand who am I. After you understand and realize who you are, then to connect yourself with God and engage in His service. That's the next level. That's called sadhana, the process by which you connect yourself to God, which is technically called as yoga. In Bhagavad Gita, the word yoga is used. There is karma And then there's karma yoga. What is karma? Karma is ordinary activities which you do to fill your belly. That's karma. But when activity is done for pleasing God, that's called karma yoga. Activity which is intended to please the Lord, that's karma yoga. Jnana yoga, you acquire knowledge. But when you acquire knowledge about God, that is called jnana yoga. Then you do dhyana, it becomes yoga. You do dhyana, right? Some people do dhyana on film stars, morning, afternoon, evening, 3 shows they watch. That's dhyana, they're doing. Some people do dhyana on politics, some people do dhyana on sports. But when the subject matter becomes God, then it is dhyana yoga. So karma yoga, jnana yoga, dhyana yoga. So this different, then bhakti yoga. Right? So when you do devotion to the Lord, that's called bhakti yoga. It connects you to God. So the process of linking Atma to Paramatma, that is yoga. And that's what Bhagavad Gita talks about. So in brief, this is the answer. Understanding that I'm spirit and connecting to the super spirit, Paramatma. Atma, Paramatma. I'm soul, but God is super soul. So the linking process is yoga. And second part of your question was, can we be modern and yet be spiritual? Or is spirituality only meant for old-fashioned people with long dadi sitting in Himalayas? Only for Babas, yogis? Actually, this spirituality, as mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, was given to kings, not just to sages in the forest. If you see this context of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is speaking it to whom? Who is Arjuna? Who is a Pandava? What is the designation? He is a king. He is a Kshatriya. And what is his qualification? He was skilled in archery. He had even pleased the Devatas in his skills. With his skills, he was self-controlled. He was cultured man. To such a high caliber person, Bhagavad Gita is being taught. In fact, Krishna teaches this, says that Yadyad achariti shreshta tatta deve tarojana. All the top people of the country should know this knowledge. This wisdom is meant for leaders. Evam parampara praptam imam raja rishyo viduhu. The Raja Rishis understood this knowledge, not just sadhus. Raja Rishi, Raja means king. Rishi means a person of good quality, good character. So Raja Rishi means who is a king yet saintly. Such saintly kings understood this knowledge. So it's meant for the leaders of the country, leaders of the society. They should know this knowledge. So this knowledge can be practiced in any time, place, circumstance, country, religion. And there's no bar for this. Anybody can practice this at any time. So even 5,000 years back, whatever challenges were there are even present now. And the same solutions are applicable even now. So we don't have to give up spirituality, we have to adapt it as per time, place and circumstance. In the current time, place and circumstance, with whatever profession you may be doing, whatever skills you may be having, you can engage it in the service of the Lord and still be spiritual. Like for example, George Harrison, I showed you his photo. Yeah, you know George Harrison. He is sitting with Hare Krishna devotees and is chanting. And he, being inspired by Hare Krishna devotees, he came to Swami Prabhupada, who is the founder of ISKCON. And George Harrison said, Swamiji, I want to shave my head and I want to join like a monk in your ashram. He came, he expressed this. But then Swami Prabhupada, he said, no, you don't have to do this. You're already Hari's son. Srila Prabhupada said, you're already son of Hari, Hari's son, Hari's son. So you don't have to do this. Krishna has given you the skill of music. You use this music as a means to glorify the Lord. And he took this order very seriously and he composed many songs glorifying Krishna. And that's with guitar and modern way. It's not traditional way with sitar, tabla and like that. No, it's modern way. and it's so appealing. He composed a song called My Sweet Lord. The song My Sweet Lord is about Krishna, sweet Lord Krishna. Of course, Krishna is strong, yet he is also sweet, very sweet. He is beautiful. Adharam madhuram vadanam madhuram nayanam madhuram hasitam madhuram. Everything about Krishna is sweet. So he composed a song in English glorifying Krishna and hankering to see and meet Krishna. It's like that. So Srila Prabhupada said, don't change your profession, engage it in glorifying the message of Lord. So like that. So whatever you are, you may be students, the humanities schools, interior design. Yeah, you can use interior design to glorify the Lord. Right? So Krishna is Rasika. He likes fashion. Barha pidam natavaravapu karnayo karnikaram. So Krishna is very dashing. He wears peacock feather on his head. He wears Vaijanti mala. He wears beautiful yellow dhoti. Right? He is master of all design. Very beautiful. So you can glorify the Lord with your artwork. In Madam's office, I saw somebody on a plate, she had carved and painted beautiful Krishna. You can use arts to glorify Krishna. In fact, in India, you will find so many arts, right? All the art was meant to glorify the Lord. You see our temples, such wonderful sculptures, artwork. Have you gone to this place called, from here, there's a place called Hassan. Near Hassan, there's a place called Belur Hadabedu. Such fine artwork. It's impossible to make it in the current age. People are so skilled and so you see such tradition, such culture, artwork is there in India, all to glorify the Lord. Okay. So message is, whoever you are, be spiritual and engage your talent in the service of the Lord. Hare Krishna. I think we'll pause here. Yeah.
Interrupted you. You were telling something. You wanted to say something. I just asked you the question.
I wanted to share. I want to listen from them. What two top points you're carrying home from this session? Is anybody? Yeah. Keshav is very enthusiastic.
Please come here. He's always enthusiastic.
Yeah, give the mic there. Yeah.
My anxiety is not going to help me, so I'm just going to sideline overthinking.
Okay.
And another thing is I'm going to create more of paintings that involve Krishna and spirituality in a modern form.
Oh, wonderful. That's very nice. Yes. Anyone girls want to speak? Carry home point. What did you learn from today's session?
What is that?
One from this side, yeah. We got one response from the right side, one response from the left side. Yes, bring the mic nearby, yeah. Any one point you liked in this today's session? Yeah, there.
So we understood how the mind, the soul, the body works as a system of our own selves, and how we can, control it, and how we can, manage our thoughts to, how to control our brains to work well and function well as we want.
Okay, thank you. So what is the easy way to control the mind?
So to first stop the things that you know are bad, stop getting that information and trying to stay away from it.
Okay.
And then supplement with good thoughts, and the last is to stay away from it.
Yeah, starve the bad habits, supplement with good habits, and stay away from the tempting environments.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
today's enlightening session on the topic Managing the Raging Mind. We are honored to have had the privilege of hosting the esteemed guest, Mr. Suvarna Gauri from ISKCON, whose insightful perspectives and wisdom have undoubtedly left a lasting impact on all of us. Mr. Prabhuji, your profound insights into the art of managing the mind and finding inner peace have been truly invaluable. Your ability to guide us through the complexities of our thoughts and emotion is commendable, and we are grateful for the practical strategies you shared to help us navigate our daily challenges. It is through the collective efforts of the organizing team and ma'am and the active participation of our audience that this event has achieved its purpose. As we leave here today, equipped with newfound knowledge and a fresh perspective, let us apply the teachings shared by Mr. Prabhuji. May we all strive to manage our minds, find certainty which lead more balanced and fulfilling lives. Once again, thank you Mrs. Suvarna for gracing us with understanding of this vital topic. And thank you to all who joined us today. Your engagement and enthusiasm are greatly appreciated. Wishing you all continued growth and success in your journey to manage your minds for inner harmony. Thank you.